Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh god, the echo. Stop. No.
Well, at least it's working. If you've got it.
There we are professional streamers and know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, it seems that
Wait,
we
what
are
is-
heard
Oh, there's
by the
for
audience.
fuck's sake. Okay, now it should all be muted. Let's go.
Well, hopefully it's not all muted. Otherwise, we'll have a problem.
It'll be fine. So, welcome to the Season 11 Roundup video. We will show you all of the results. Hopefully. Well, let's start with our hosts. Anyone want to go?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm Nev. Hopefully, you guys know me. I'm excited to see what you guys have been up to this season.
And?
Okay. Ctesifon here. I'm here to join this little party because into people it will be a little bit too awkward.
Yes. So, to start off, round 1.
Alright, so the round 1 was about American compact pickup trucks. In my opinion, this was a really good start of the season. I really enjoyed this round, mainly because I think that this was the first round where we were introduced to the new tech pool. So it was quite fun. The fastest lap was done by Critical Set, even though it was just by a hair, because I think he was like 0.05 seconds faster than a guy who just joined for one round and never elaborated further. Then I had won the engineering, which was quite fun because I cheesed a bit with the vans, which were actually the meta. But that's for another talk. And the best aesthetics were scored by the KFC, by Frederick Lenius, who is, I think, like one of 2 or 3 people who, in my opinion, actually made a car which fits the brief. Because most of you actually decided to make utes instead of pickup trucks.
Yeah.
But
It wouldn't be a proper round unless everybody got confused with the brief and just decided to do their own things.
Yes.
But it was quite fun. Moravian Motorworks won yet another round. And yeah, have you guys something to say about this round?
No.
I'm just glad it's not the same car in all 4 pictures. It was a dominant round, but not a clean sweep, which was nice. We've got some different cars on the screen.
Yeah, but there's a pattern you're going to be seeing probably a bit in this video.
Yes.
The right side of your screen will show some similar cars.
Yes.
Yes, might be. Okay, I think we can go to round 2. Okay, so in the second round we did the modern track cars, which was an interesting round. There was no engineering calculator, so it was everything about making the fastest car on the track, which fits the rules. And as it happens, Critical Set actually again managed to get the fastest car, while he kinda engineered the car on my behalf. So yeah, I had a lot of fun this round. But at least I decided to actually totally blunder the aesthetics and make the car totally from 3D fixtures, which, well, ended as you see.
I did expect the car to score at least a bit higher. I don't think it looked bad or anything.
It didn't end terrible. I think it got like 6th place or something like that. But yeah, but it was fun. It was just a little experiment.
Yeah.
Anyways, the aesthetics were won again by Frederick Lenius. I think that this blue thing is quite gorgeous.
Yeah.
Even though I think that from the rear it looks way better than from the front. And that's saying something.
Yeah, that is probably one of the nicest cars I've seen submitted as part of the championship. It is very nice and very deserving of the 1 out of 10 vote somebody managed to give it. So
Yes.
because we
Yeah,
have the best voters in athletics.
No, that was because Google Forms glitched, right?
Yeah.
And then it magically stopped when we asked them. The uncontrollable glitch.
Yes.
Anyhow, round 3.
Okay, so in the round 3 we had nice ambulances from the 90s. This is, I think, the only round where my team didn't manage to get the fastest lap. Or no, 1 of 2, I think. Yes. So only 2 pictures of Moravian Motorworks cars.
Actually, I think 1 of 3 even.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure. But anyways, I think this was also a fun round. For me, particularly, this felt like, from the engineering perspective, this was basically exactly the same thing as the round 1. Because the meta were vans with front-wheel drive. And around 260 horsepower.
Yes.
But it was quite fun. Basically, I felt like this round was about making the shortest wheelbase Toyota highest bodywork, which is exactly the abomination which you see on the right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It totally doesn't flip around in the corners.
Yeah, I wonder
fine.
why this was one of the rounds that you didn't win fastest lap on.
Yeah, but I think that Critical Set managed to get like 2nd place or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But the 1st place was snatched away by KFC Racing. So nice work there. And the best aesthetics were won by Team Ben, which is, I think, one of the like prettiest pictures we have here this round. This is like 100% fitting.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys agree, but this is exactly how I imagine like the American ambulance or something like that.
Yeah.
And for once, the people voting actually voted for the brief, at least for one car, because this one won. So well done, guys. I'm very, very proud of the progress. Taken many seasons, but we've done it right once.
Yeah. But I suppose that it was quite hard to make a car which didn't fit the ambulance round.
I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely think people succeeded in making non-fitting cars. But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like there were better and worse ones, but like, you know, no one submitted like a race car with or a like wagon or a coupe.
yeah, that's true.
Everyone did fine. So let's move on. Yeah, and round 4, we did the 50s luxury sedans, which was an interesting round because I think I'm not quite sure, but isn't this like the lowest participation round, maybe like ever? I think
Could
like
be. I haven't actually
I
checked.
think I think that there were like 10 cars maybe in the video, and many were disqualified. But anyways, the fastest lap was scored by Clockwork, who made a car which had like 20 score in engineering, but was the fastest one. I managed to get the best engineering.
Shock.
Unfortunately for Critical Set, I like didn't ask him about the tuning or anything, so he just happened to drive a total large boat around the track. But
I mean, that's what pretty much everyone did, except for Clockwork. But
yeah. And the aesthetics were won by Baseworks, who snatched the 1st place from me by like 0.01 points, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a well-deserved win. I think that this Baseworks car is like the prime example of how photography matters in this competition.
yes.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the car, it's kind of simple, but the photo just looks so great that you cannot resist just to give it like an 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah. I think the exact opposite is happening with your car, where it's like a bit undersaturated and stuff, and a bit dark and boring.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't have much time to play around with the photo scenes. I just really like this exact one because everything which is in Chrome can be like clearly seen, like all the lines.
Yeah, but if you ignore like the picture itself, I do think your car actually looked a lot better. But
thanks. But yeah, it's fine. So I think also this was a very fun round. I think that there weren't really many options engineering-wise what to try, but it was a real challenge to get to a high score with that calculator. This was like a real tough nut to crack.
yeah,
This was really nice.
the cow.
Yes. Yeah, so in the final round, we had the Group C race cars. This was a great round, won by the infamous cow. So, cheers to PC Moreno and MCAR to make the fastest car. I really think that it's quite impressive the time they scored with this car. Like, brutally fast. But anyway, it's a cow, and I think that with the penalty, it was the lowest score in aesthetics ever.
Yes. If you include the penalty.
Yeah, with the penalty, yeah. But luckily, most of the people actually submitted Group C cars, and I think that on average, the aesthetic scores were like super high. Most of the scars were at least 5. So that was nice, but the nicest one was again by KFC. So congratulations. I think that they scored like 9.4 in aesthetics, which again might be a record. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's overall.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that.
Okay. And we managed to win the round, scoring 3 silver medals. So
very nice. Yeah. And well done to everyone who managed to actually submit a lap. We weren't sure about running the whole Nürburgring track for a while, but we decided just to go for it. So hopefully it was at least somewhat fun and not just complete torture for some of you. But there was more than like 3 entries, so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah. I think there was only one who entered the car but didn't enter the lap.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So now on to the Drivers' Championship.
Yes, so for the Drivers' Championship, in joint second place was Team Pizza Instant Tribute with these spectacular cars. I like how they've kept the same sort of color scheme over a few of the different cars.
Yeah.
So very, very, very nice sort of team identity. And the ambulance was definitely the most fitting ambulance of the round.
Oh yeah, for sure. Pizza has healing powers, you know.
Yeah. And also joined in second place for the Drivers' Championship was Team FAD or FADD. So well done here. Again, we've got some sort of dark color scheme going on between the different cars, and well done on being pretty quick, but not quite as quick as the overall winner, which by no surprise was
not this, because there's 4 on the podium.
Oh,
there's a 3-way tie on second.
Oh, okay, wow, okay, that's very impressive. So also in second place with only 4 cars was KFC Racing, with some very nice looking cars here. Mm-hmm. But the overall winner, which is not a surprise, winning I think 3 rounds out of 5. We'll see in a minute. Was Critical Set with Mrdja Motorworks. So very well done there in terms of your engineering and your driving. I think you were a big step ahead of everybody else, which is not a surprise when you've got an overpowered pairing of you two doing everything as a team. So we can move on to the full table now. Yeah, so well done, Critical Set. Yeah, 3 wins out of 5 and 2 second places is very impressive, and there's a massive gulf between the next few, with Ken Shiro, Speeding Red and Deltas doing very well. John Vanway, despite entering vans every single round, has done very well to end up in 5th, and was unlucky to actually not finish 2nd with how close it was there. Swans, you managed to do well and be the worst driver who's entered every round, which I hope you're proud of.
Very. I suck.
What happened in round 1? Why was that so low scoring?
Because I just made a car that was slow as fuck. It's the summary.
Fair enough.
And also just general skill issue driving.
Yeah, and Mrdja was not far off of you in the last round.
Yeah, but that was because Mrdja wasn't driving.
I think you need to watch out next season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think he's on the move, and I especially like the PC Moreno flag. That is.
We have to change it for next season because I got Fabio.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big upgrade.
He'll migrate to the Skoda.
And hopefully we'll see Husk back for one more round. Maybe he will actually win a round and then decide to stick around. Maybe he was just so pissed off that he was so close to winning and just decided to call it a day.
Definitely.
Oh, and Dan drove around this season. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did I think he was second to last in the first round.
Nice.
And then he gave up. Understandable.
Yeah. Well, next year he can aim for last.
I mean,
So, we can move on now to the Automation Racing Championship, which was, I think, another dominant display by a team. But in 3rd place, we have Fad again. So well done on doing well with the calculators this season.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have
another 3rd place.
Another. And this is like F1 this season. If you just remove the team in first, it would have been a really exciting battle between all the teams for the other positions. So, yeah. So in 3rd place again, yeah, we have the pancake stack Sirs. Just about managed it there with these amazing cars. Well done, Spence.
Thank you. I tried sometimes.
Yes, the person that made the calculator for every round managed it all right.
Yeah.
But not the best.
It'd be pretty bad if I didn't get a podium.
Yeah, that'd be quite embarrassing. But yeah, you just about managed to hang on. If you were 1 point more, you wouldn't have been there. But...
all calculated, of course. The calculator.
Ah, yes, perfect. And next up, in 2nd place, we have again Pizza Incident Tribute with their beautiful cars and their beautiful team name. And the winner of the Automation Racing Championship this season, to nobody's surprise, is Mrdja Motorsports. Yes. Again, yeah, a very dominant display. Was it winning all but the last round, I think?
Yeah, I think that only the last round was 2nd place. But
I think you.
I mean, I won all the engineering rounds.
Yes.
All 3 of them, so I'm happy for myself. And Critical Set also try hard did for 2 of them, so yeah, it was a short victory, but nice one.
Yeah, well done. And now we can move on to the whole table. So yeah, very dominant display. 97 out of 100 points is very impressive. Jams, as always, has done well, always near the top of the engineering with some very solid and consistent results. Mons, you've done pretty well. Similar to Jams, just consistently on the board. Speeding Red is a good result, finished joint 3rd, and if the first round is a bit better, maybe they could have done pretty well here. Like John Vanway is the worst here of every team that entered every round, which is not a surprise with the restrictions that he seems to force upon himself for many seasons of torture for some reason. But
And this is shared 5th place though with Baseworks.
that is true. Yeah, that is true. So
Yeah, it's only that Baseworks kind of blundered in the 5th round.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they were even faster than Baseworks. Yikes.
And maybe we'll see PC Moreno entering again next season and trying to take away some points from Racing Motorworks, which would be nice. Or maybe we'll get some of the original players back, like Waffle, who does like a good focus all on the calculator and ignore the driving.
Yes.
Which is an interesting way to do it. But
maybe PC Moreno could also steal some points away from Mrdja in aesthetics.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it'll be a tough battle.
Yeah, definitely the 5th round was definitely a race for the last position.
Yes.
Yes, well done, Seal, on not coming last. You can be very proud of that performance. Right, and on to the Aesthetics Championship, which was actually a little bit closer compared to the other ones, which you'll see in a minute. So, in 3rd place, not winning, not having a clean sweep of everything this season, Moravian Motorworks, but still doing very well.
Yeah, it was fun. If I hadn't experimented with stupid bullshit in the first 2 rounds.
No, don't say that. We don't want you winning every single title in the season. That would not be good. 2nd place, KFC Racing. Again, despite only having 4 cars, they are 4 very good looking cars. So it's done very well, especially like the Group C car with that livery. It definitely looks the part for what you'd expect for the round. And shows you can do well without having an interior. So well done there.
Pretty sure these had an interior.
Oh, is the picture just really dark?
The windows are just very dark for some reason.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. And next up, we have Baseworks winning the season with some very typical Baseworks cars, as you can see, in a very nice picture of one of them upside down and on fire. So, yeah, well done winning the Aesthetics Championship for this season with some very good looking cars, very consistently good looking cars. There's no bad ones, and all of them, in my opinion at least, were fitting the brief, which was good to see.
Yeah, I especially like the round 2 car, the red one. I actually like it more than the winning car. It's the prime example of a simple design which just looks perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So if we now go on to the full standings. Yeah, so the designer, Roman, very well done. These amazing designs that you've come up with to win the title with Baseworks. Yeah, very consistent, winning 1 round and always consistently being up near the top is done well. Frederick Lennius, of course, winning 3 out of the 4 rounds that he entered in 2nd place and other is usual for him. I think he's probably got the most aesthetics round wins in the history of the championship. Would you agree, Swans?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Usually when he enters, he will win, especially in the past few seasons. So, yeah,
I wonder
no
if
surprise.
Extrodius in like the early seasons actually got more. Because I don't think Lanius has entered that many seasons.
Oh, you
I don't
mean
actually
Siege,
remember.
not Extrodius.
Oh yeah, Siege, sorry, yeah.
I don't know. It would be interesting.
Because he won like every single round in like the first 3 seasons or something.
Yeah. I mean, Lennius has been around for a while now, since like season 7 or 8, I think.
Has he? Oh.
But a bit on off with rounds.
Yeah.
Someone can check. Mrdja, that can be your job. You can go through every result we've ever had. And you can tell us. And yeah, further down the table, Dan is the designer, sole designer, right, for all the cars.
Yeah, I definitely didn't make half the cars. Which is probably why we aren't on the podium.
Yes. Very consistent though.
Yeah,
I like always being okay, which is
that is
good.
my goal. Consistently mediocre.
I like Seal mentioning that he's technically in the top 10. I don't think you need the word technically. You are in the top 10. But thank you for that addition. You managed to crawl your way in with a solid effort in the last round. And yeah, I mean, well done to everyone that's managed to make some good looking cars. We've had the usual shockers throughout the season, which we may see some of later, if you're lucky. But yeah, we can now move on to. Yes, and Roman definitely didn't just partially design the ambulance, did nothing else. No, his name is on the championship winning table. So
Yeah, he was the designer, so he did everything, right?
Cool. And then on to the overall Constructors' Championship now. So we can get started with third place, KFC Racing, a team that we've seen quite a few times so far, with pretty good performances overall across 3 different sections.
Pretty impressive for them to be on the podium while they didn't enter in round 4.
Yeah, that is very well done. I mean, perhaps next season, if they manage to enter every round, we might have some competition up in the front. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, we might just have to get Strop fired or something, so that he's got time to spend and actually make the championship battle more interesting. So next up, we have in second place we have Pizza Incident Tribute. Again, another picture. Maybe we should get different team pictures because it's always just the same teams. So we can have different angles, make it a bit more interesting next season.
Oh yes.
Yes. So yeah, well done to this team for finishing second overall. I think Jan seems a bit surprised by that, but yeah, well done on some solid entries across the season. And next up,
no one's surprised.
Yes. Wow, what a shock! Well done to Mrdja Motorworks. Do you have anything to say? Celebrate your run. Was this a shock?
It wasn't very shocking, but I think that had the KFC Racing actually submitted in the round 4, I think that it could have been quite close in the end. But it was a fun season.
So yeah, well done on your hard work and being able to be consistently near the top of aesthetics, driving, and automation rating. So well done.
Okay, so fun fact: you were more than 60 points ahead of second, so it was physically impossible. Even if they just had another round and won everything, they still wouldn't have passed you.
Okay.
So because you're taking points off. Ravian.
Yeah, I guess, but still very unlikely. Anyhow,
so we can move on to the full championship table. Yeah, bit of a golf. I mean, again, for second place, it's very close between lots of different teams, which is nice to see. It's bit of a as I said earlier, very similar to the current F1 season, with just Red Bull being absolutely miles in the lead. And I'm impressed that you've managed to get over 50 points in every single round, which there's only 2 other teams that managed to get 50 or more points across the whole season, which is very, very consistent. So well done on always being up there. We've got Baseworks in 4th, which is not a big surprise, and Smons you hovering around 5th, which is again is not a surprise. I think that's where you seem to finish every season.
Yeah.
Yeah, consistent, which is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, between 30 and 40 points for every round, which is very good. I like Clark's season with Clockwork of just 0 points in round 3 and then 7 in round 5. Did they not submit a lot?
Yeah, they just went for aesthetics, which they were second to last in or something.
I think they were third last, but I remember that Clark didn't submit a lap because his tires kept on exploding on the track. So
it sounds like a skill issue.
Fair enough. And PC Moreno actually got a lot of points in that last round.
Yeah.
And then on to the split. So everybody that's entered as part of our team this year, you can have a look at where you're lacking and where you need to focus on for next year. I also like how many teams just signed up and just didn't even enter a single round.
Like, what is it? Like 3 or 4 of these actually did enter a round, but they were just disqualified, so they got 0 points.
That is even more impressive.
Yeah.
To manage to get disqualified in every round that you've entered. So. Yes.
Yeah.
Well done. We'll make sure this is posted so you can have a better look at this after the video is done.
Now, for the special awards, the obviously best part of the stream.
I like the picture you've chosen.
Yes. So, for the worst driving award, we have it's about teams that entered at least 4 out of 5 rounds, because otherwise you have like one team that only entered in aesthetics and then didn't drive. So yeah, the worst performer was Baseworks, because their car was on fire or something. I don't know. They scored 53 out of 194 points from their laps, which is, to be like, you'd expect 33.3%. So it's not that bad, I think. Like, I'm surprised there isn't a lower one. I would have expected like someone at 20% or something.
Yeah, I suppose that's because I had a driver. If I had driven this season, I would have got maybe like 10-15%.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Next up, we have the worst engineering award, which goes out to Clockwork. They got an entire 30 out of 105 points from engineering, which is an even higher part of their score. Like, I think people were just pretty consistent all across the board this season, because 28.6% is a pretty decent amount of your score.
Yeah, usually in the past we have just had some teams that have just been absolutely awful at one part. So
yeah,
now people are just awful at everything.
Yeah, I think that it's really hard being really bad at engineering now because of the max speed limits in the rules.
Yeah,
So
it
makes the cars more consistent relative to each other.
So next we have the worst designing, which goes out to Freestyle Ace's design division. They in fact did not ace the design division. They scored 47 out of 172 points from aesthetics, which once again is not actually that small of a part, but I guess people were just consistent, or people were.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just in general people were either consistently good or consistently bad. I'll not say any names, but some weren't on the high part. Like,
yeah. So, Seal, to answer your question, this award is given to the team which has struggled the most with like one part of the topic. So yeah, as one said earlier, this isn't the worst designer overall in the championship. This is more just they're much better at driving and the engineering side than the design. Although yeah, it's really low or really high. That percentage is 27%. Usually it's like 10 or 15% across seasons. So yeah, the designs are pretty good. I think they finished quite high in the designing championship, but they were just clearly a better engineering driver.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of their points from the driving. And then, of course, there were 2 rounds where the engineering was the driving, so they also got quite high in that.
Yeah.
And then they just got shoved in the aesthetics.
Yeah.
So, now we have the longest name entered this season, which was in round 5 by Baseworks. It is.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah, they do this every season.
Running this again.
Okay, let me try. The speed running, not stunning, undrivable, real excitable, overboosted, unreputed, irredeemable, unnameable, crashable, and burn no concern Baseworks Endurance Special, which consists of 18 words and 153 characters, which I didn't even know was possible in the name thing.
I thought that just broke the exporter.
Yeah, I thought it as well, but I guess it works.
The text on the results in the video was so small that I had to ask actually Smons to look inside the results table in the spreadsheet to tell me what the car is called.
Yeah, it was just a white line in the thing. So
Fair.
now we have the most rule breaks in one round, which was by Westin Grand Prix Engineering, which, if you have a great memory, was one of the teams that got disqualified in every round they entered. This was in round 1, where they had 4 rule breaks, which was too high production units, too low tire rating, too long braking distance, and +4 quality, even though it was +3 max. So, on to the next one. Most rule breaks in total. With their one entire entry, they scored more rule breaks than every other team combined.
That is very impressive.
Yeah. I am actually surprised nobody got more than 4 rule breaks across all the rounds.
Yeah, that is actually also impressive.
People actually tried.
To be fair, I feel like getting 4 rule breaks or more does make sense because you've clearly just not even read the rules at all. If you get 1 or 2, then you've tried to read them, but you've just failed. Like clearly Westin were just like, nah, don't need the rules. I'm just gonna do my own thing.
I remember them like talking about the rule checker a fuckload in the chat, and then they still somehow didn't manage to use it.
Yeah, that's true. But I suppose that there weren't really that many rule breaks this time because the arrow rules have been simplified.
Yeah, that does help a lot. Although there were still a couple error rule breaks somehow. Yeah. Next up, we have the lowest horsepower per liter, which goes to Freestyle Aces Design Division with a out of focus picture of their picture. It was the 1971 Freestyle Aces Design Division San Salvador CI6, which sounds like a Spanish ripoff of James Bond or something. I don't know. Then it has a 5.1 liter inline 6, which produces a staggering 152 horsepower, which results in 29.8 horsepower per liter, which is that worse than the Beetle? I don't actually know.
Surely that's worse than the Beetle. The Beetle's not got a big engine.
Yeah, but
Maybe they just made a diesel engine roleplay.
Okay, we're gonna have some live calculations on screen.
Oh no.
Oh yes. It has a 34 horsepower engine apparently. Out of the 1.4 liter or 1.5 liter, excuse me, I think.
Oh.
Oh no, that's worse. That's a lot worse. This is a brilliant car. What am I talking about?
Better than a Beetle.
Yes, you've achieved perfection. Next up, we have the highest horsepower per liter, which is slightly higher. It is 1,011 horsepower from a 2.5 liter V8, which results in 404.4 horsepower per liter. So, yeah, that's quite a bit higher.
What did the power curve on this look like?
Flat and then vertical and then flat again.
But I'm guessing the second flat was for not very long.
I don't think it was that bad. It wasn't great, but it was drivable. Ish.
And that's the exact formula you want for doing a lap or in the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Sure, it was very easy.
So, next up, we have the best solo team, which is also the lowest ranked team that entered every round. It is Team Van with the Van stack. They scored pretty consistent all round. But yeah, they scored 166 points, which is not that great for entering every round. But everyone is just in a non-solo team, so they were still the best solo team. Next up, we have the best aesthetics, which goes to KFC Racing. It was their round 5 car, the 300T. It was designed by Lanius, and it got a 9.41, which is, I mean, it's pretty close to a perfect score, which is very impressive.
Yeah, especially considering how some people vote. This is to have everybody agree that it's a good car. That is very well done.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is pretty cool to see how far we've come since season 1 or season 2 of the championship. And
Back when I was still competitive.
Yeah. What used to be possible in automation compared to what is now. It's a very different game.
Yeah.
This does look very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Then, to the other end of the scale, we have the worst aesthetics. This is without penalties, because PC Moreno did actually score lower with the cow, but that was because of a penalty. So the lowest base score was 0.62 by Mrdja's fucking grinder thing.
Yeah, the forbidden cheese grater.
Yes, I don't know why he did this, but I don't think anyone will ever know.
I don't think I could have done worse if I tried.
I think that the funniest thing about this car is that there was one person in the season who never voted anything in aesthetics and just opened the last form from the last round just to give 1-1 for the Mrdja car.
I can't blame them.
There's just so much. Like, why is there just still the red paint on that bit? Why have you got a number sticker with no number? The normal steel rims, of course, and then just the wings to add, all the downforce for the lap time.
Do you also like that the edge of the what's it called, headlight? It's not just chrome; it's diamond plate steel.
Oh,
okay.
Because that is, of course, what you make your headlight edges of.
yes.
Okay. Now we're not actually at the end. We have some bonus results. So prepare. Here's the season 10 results. Pause if you want to see them. I don't care. Bye.
Bye.